Hey guys, it's been a while. Just hear me out for a second. The reason why I haven't done any videos for a while is for 3 reasons. 1, I had to do something with my family this Thanksgiving, which is a Busch Gardens trip, so that's really exciting. 2, I had a birthday a while ago. 21 years, baby. And 3, I was immensely sick. Like, throat was hurting, nose is stuffy. I mean, it's a little bit stuffy now, but it was even more stuffy within the past week or so, and I was coughing a lot, like constantly, non-stop, every day. But guess what? I pushed through, got my meds, so let's get down to business already. Yo, what's up everybody? Denis here. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the second addition to our 5-movie animated saga, Ice Age: The Meltdown. Let's see how this sequel holds up. With global warming threatening their once icy domain with widespread flooding, Manny, Sid, and Diego set out to find a safe haven. However, one mammoth named Ellie, not the Ellie you're thinking of, viewers out there, this Ellie, but she's played by the famous Queen Latifah. Anyway, she thinks that she's an opossum, but she does join the travelers on their perilous quest. Now, I know some people who will most likely watch this video are going to 100% disagree with me about my official thoughts on this movie, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it out loud. It was way better than its 2002 original. The CGI got better, probably because of their budget to make it. $80 million, of course. Pretty well spent, if I do say so myself. The character models were surprisingly more realistic than before. I mean, if you look back at the first movie, it's not to say that I hate the original or anything, but my biggest pet peeve about that movie was the fact that the characters looked like cheap video game characters, but with no realism. This movie's animation maxed up to 1,000,000% and made it 10 times more realistic and much more fleshed out in terms of story and plotline. The story was a little more out of the box this time around. Now, just a fair warning, should have done that in the first place, but I'm just gonna inform you that I'm gonna be comparing this movie to its original a lot in this review. So like I said, viewer discretion is indeed advised. Anyways, the cinematography in the mix of the animation is also impressive. The camera movements were surprisingly updated. I mean, I don't mind the cinematography in the first Ice Age movie, but I'm just saying, in comparison, I enjoyed this movie's cinematography a lot more. But what I personally enjoyed the most in this movie was the surprising amount of humor in this film. Some of the jokes flew completely over my head back when I first watched it as a young kid. In fact, true story, I used to have the DVD copy of this movie, and I would watch it on my portable DVD player non-stop. But now, cut to years later, when I recently revisited the film, I have to admit, I honestly enjoyed this film a lot more as an adult. The jokes were surprisingly more mature than when I first experienced as a child. For example, there are blatant uses of the A word 3 times in a row. That's when you know that there's going to be some innuendo in this movie. In fact, the PG rating says it all. But the greatest thing about it is that it was used in an ingenious way. It was not blurred out in a way to say, hey look, fart jokes, poop jokes, butt jokes, that's hilarious. And if you guys are new to my videos, you know how I always despise those kinds of jokes in any family movie that is out there. So I'm glad that this movie clearly shows mainly us lovers of animation in general, that if you want to make great, well-executed comedy in your movies, give it a mixture of comedic humor that both kids and us adults can laugh at together. Unfortunately, that's what the people will think otherwise once I review 3 more sequels in this series, so stay tuned. Now, if I were to think of some of the problems with this film, it would be that the fact that the voice acting suffered a little bit, especially with the 2 possums in this movie. Crash? I know, similar name. But anyways, he's played by Seann William Scott, and Eddie, played by Josh Peck. I mean, they're not bad characters, but they're just not one of my favorite characters in this film, especially with their development and articulation as well. But that's just my opinion. I also thought that the scene where the vultures break into song right out of nowhere was a little bit cringy and out of place for me. But good thing that the sloths made up for it. If you guys watched the film already, you'll know which scene I'm talking about. But anyways, in the end, even with those slight flaws in this film, I still enjoyed Ice Age: The Meltdown. Meltdown. It was funny, it was very memorable, the story was a little more creative than before, and the score from John Powell once again was awesome. He never fails at his craft. He always makes great cinematic orchestra. From Chicken Run to Solo to Shrek to How to Train Your Dragon, whatever it is he does, he still makes great music for the animation department. Minus Solo since it was live action, but you get my drift. But anyways, as a result, I rate Ice Age The Meltdown, or Ice Age 2 The Meltdown as they like to call it, 4.5 stars out of 5. If you guys don't like this film, then keep it amongst yourselves. But for me, I'm totally snagging up the Blu-ray. There's no way I'm resisting it. So Ice Age The Meltdown. Have you seen it? If you have, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Was it a hilarious riot? Was it a huge chunk of melted ice? Answers down below, please. Also, if you like this video and you want to see some more, make sure that like button shines in your face. That'll totally help me out a ton. Also, share that video with your family and friends and favorite it. That's a very good way to show support for this review. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell right next to you so you can be notified of future videos that I have in store for you. And also, follow me on Stardust so you can catch early reactions of movies, TV shows, and trailers. I'll put the link of it below in the description so you can download the app for yourself. But until then, I'll see you next time. Peace out.